If you're a real estate agent and you're trying to take your Instagram to the next level, this podcast is for you. Today we interviewed Julian Colvard all the way from Atlanta, and Julian is killing it with his social media, specifically with his Instagram game. You need to check it out if you're trying to grow your business. Before I got started, or when I got started in real estate, I was doing Instagram, but I was doing it wrong. I wasn't too sure what to put. I'll check other people's Instagram, other realtors' Instagrams, but I wasn't too sure until I met Julian Colvard. Julian has helped me so much to know what to put in my podcast, what kind of value to provide, what kind of videos to make. Every single day he's posting amazing content, and he has so many good strategies. So again, if you're a real estate agent and you're trying to learn how to kill it on Instagram, check out today's podcast. You don't want to miss it. So let's get started right now.
Welcome, and thank you for tuning into Amate with Hans, Real Estate Podcast, the place where real estate agents come to get tips, tricks, advice, and strategies from top industry leaders from around the globe. Sit back and hope you enjoy the show.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another Mate with Hans Real Estate Podcast. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Hans Waisfeld. I'm a real estate agent down here in Miami with Keller Williams. And today's guest comes all the way from Atlanta. He hasn't been too long in the business, but the short amount of time that he's been in the business, he has been killing it. He not only is a traditional real estate agent, but he's also working with investors. He's also a wholesaler. So he's pretty much making all the deals happen, kind of thinking outside the box. That's one thing that I really love about our guest today. Everyone, let's welcome Julian Colvard. Julian, thanks so much for joining us today and taking your time. What is going on, my friend?
I appreciate you inviting me on, and nothing's going on, just hanging out the office, trying to get some work done after my nap.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. I know it's 7 p.m. and you're probably, finishing up your day. So again, I want to take the time to thank you for joining us, man. So tell us a little bit about what you did, Julian, before you got into real estate. I know you've been in real estate for about 3 years or so. What did you do before that?
Before I got into real estate, I was in college. I was in college playing football, and that was really it. I started real estate while I was in college. So this is the only thing that I've really been doing as far as, like, I guess, professionalism. I was a trainer in college. I used to train people. Had around, like, all in all, I probably had around like 300 clients in the Atlanta University Center.
Shit.
So I guess they got me into sales. That was like my sales experience before I got into the real estate side.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. So what do you think other than, like, having these clients already, what do you think that kind of did for you, your real estate career, like training and being in college and being a football player? What has that played a role into your real estate career?
Oh, 1,000%, because football, it gets you used to routine and doing the same thing every day, which is basically what real estate is. And I told someone, like, if you want to see more results in your real estate sales career, just do the same thing every day. And it's the same thing with football. So it's like the slight edge of the compound effect, just day in and day out, and just knowing that, they say success is mundane because you got to do the same thing every day, but just like knowing that it's all going to pay off, and you just got to have patience, and you got delay gratification. And then with the training part, football gave me discipline too. In training, it was just like dealing with people, scripts, Socratic questioning, like asking people questions instead of helping them come to the conclusion that you want them to come to, instead of like trying to sell them, and just like follow up, keep in touch with past clients. And then the relationships that I built while I was in school training all those people, like 300 people, it relayed into real estate. So once everybody figured out, like, hey, I got my license, they were like, oh, we're going to come to you when we want to buy a house. So it just made it easier. Yeah. And I have rapport with all these people because they used to see me every day. Like, as a trainer,
Right.
they're
That's
probably
awesome.
like the biggest person in their life because they see you every day, and you helping them boost their self-esteem and all this other stuff. So yeah, it 1,000% like transfer over, because I really haven't did anything different. I'm using social media the same way to get real estate clients as I was when I was as
Training
a trainer.
clients.
Yeah.
Oh shit! There you go. That's awesome, man. That's so you pretty much came into the real estate not knowing about real estate, but knowing, again, how to follow up with people, how to speak to people, how to
Yeah.
motivate people, how to get clients from social media. And then you kind of build your whole kind of your database of people, your sphere, people that, especially if you're a training man, people were kind of looking up to you, right? In a way, people were like, Julian, let's go. What are we doing today? So, then you transfer to real estate, which is awesome because these people are like, shit, that's my man. Like he was my man for training. Now he's going to be my man, for anything real estate related. So you kind of came in here already with the, a good amount of sphere of influence and people, right?
Yep.
That's awesome, man. And tell us a little bit about your social media. What were you doing, before in the training, and what are you still doing now? And what have you been seeing that works for you?
Just DM a whole bunch of people. The more conversations you have, the more likely it is for you to run into success. That's really it. Because with training, I used to post. I had my posts automated and just post the same thing. If you want to lose weight, tone, DM me. Now it's if you want to buy a house or learn how to buy one, DM me. Just being very direct, straight to the point.
Right.
Posting houses all the time. With training, I was posting before and after pictures because that was what I was quote unquote selling. But now I'm
Right.
just posting houses and people like, oh, I like that house, and they DM me like, how much is this? I want to buy something like this. How much do I need? So it's like engaging them, and like a lot of people, they never thought about buying a house before, but after they've seen the house so many times, they're like, okay, yeah, I want to buy a house and I want to get one just like this.
So you're like you're top of mind so much, and you're just in their face so much. They're like, shit, let me just buy a house from Julian.
Yeah. Yeah. I told somebody the 33, like the social media, like I keep people in an email database, and I believe in 33 touch, calling, mailing, all that stuff. But the social media is like put 33 touch on steroids to the point. So with some people, because
Wow.
I have past clients that look at my story every single day, my Instagram story. They like all the pictures. So it's like, do I really need to email them?
No,
Do I need?
100%. I agree.
Yeah.
It's like it's like you just said, it's on steroids. I mean, they're seeing what you're doing every day. Like they're there with you, right? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't get more top of mind than that, right? It's like, why are you emailing me, man? I see you every day.
Every day.
That's awesome, man. So tell me a little bit. Let's get into detail of this DMs. Like, is it random people, Julian? Is it people that follow you? Is it people that you follow? Like, how do you, because I know you send 100 DMs per day, right? That's that. I know you probably do. I don't know how long you take to do that. But I don't even know how to wrap my brain up around that. Like, how do you even go about that?
Yeah, so the people I follow, and then the people who follow me. So I just go down the list, and then I try to figure out like, okay, where was I yesterday? Where would I leave off? So I just scroll down the people who follow me. I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember DMing this person and this person. Let me go up a little bit more. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna start right here. And I just go to 100, and then for the people who I don't follow and who don't follow me, I'll look at the location thing on Instagram, and I just DM the people. I DM 10 people from the location,
Right.
and I'll search like Atlanta doctors or Atlanta physical therapists, Atlanta lawyers, something like that. Like the lawyer doctors, I want to get some of them because they're extremely easy to deal with as buyers because they put 20% down.
Super smart, man. Damn, I haven't even
So
thought about it. Do you hashtag and then find these people, or you just Instagram just in the search?
I just find pages. So with the location, you just put the location in Atlanta, Georgia, South Side Atlanta, Georgia. You get real specific with the location, and then with the lawyers and the doctors, trying to find people like high paid entrepreneurs and just high paid like employees. You can just put really anything. Just search for the page like Miami doctors, Miami spine doctors, like
Right, right,
Miami
right,
surgeons, something like that. Yeah.
right. Wow, man, that's how did you come up? Did you think about that when you were training? You're like, let me just start doing this, or how did you even thought about
I come up with everything when I'm walking my dog.
that? I love it, man. I mean, it sounds simple, right? It's like messaging people, but it's still not like like it's not something that is taught, right? It's something that you
Yeah.
gotta hear, or again, you're walking your dog, you're like, oh shit, might as well start sending mass messages, like, and then I heard one of your podcasts. I heard of the idea behind this? Of course, it's to try to lead generate, but at the same time, tell us a little bit of what it creates with the algorithms.
Yeah. So regardless if they see it, I mean, regardless if they respond to it or not, if they open it up, like, oh well, Instagram looks at it like, okay, this person, Julian just DM'd this person. Um, they must have some type of
Connection, some type
yeah,
of
some
like,
type
there's
of
something going on, right?
yeah, it's like some type of familiarity, some type of connection. So let's boost the chances of Julian showing up on their feed and vice versa, because Instagram is not a timeline anymore. It's just all about, because people, you open up Instagram, you might see the same people every day. So
Right,
it's all about who you communicate with.
right.
So that's what it does when you just DM somebody, or you might just respond to their story a whole bunch. So it's like once or twice a week, all the Instagram stories at the top, I'll just go through and I just react to all of them. So I just see something, I'll scroll up, I'll do like little fire emoji, the laughing
Got
emoji,
you.
and I just click real fast because I'm not really paying attention to what they're posting.
Right,
I click
right,
really
right.
fast to go through all of it to make it seem like I watched their whole story. That way, when they pull it up, they say, "Oh, who was watching my story?" They'll see me in every one. So now it's like that 33 touch type of thing. Like, okay, I'm
Correct,
here,
correct.
I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. Yeah, and then that boosts the chance of them watching your story, because my story watches, like, on one of my Instagrams. I had two of them. It went from like the average like 120, and then it had shot up to around like 240, 250 in like 2 weeks.
From doing this little strategy.
Yeah. And then another thing is, when you get more people to watch your Instagram story, now you can put whatever message you want in front of them. You can get a house with a 580 credit score. You can uh, like, the rent is almost always higher than your
Fine.
total payments, like
Yeah, yeah.
insurance, rent, all that stuff. And it's like, if you know anybody want to buy or sell a house, DM me. I pay for referrals. So they're just seeing this stuff every day, and they just throw houses up there. They're gonna respond to you. They're gonna say, hey, like, how much this costs, or where is this? I want something like this. What do I need to do in order to buy a house? I'm not trying to buy a house right now, but I want to buy one next year.
Right, right, right.
And then you just put them into this lead.
Cool. So you're pretty much seeing that this strategy is definitely working for you, right? Like, even it's kind of building that pipeline for you, right? The funnel.
Yeah, and it does it really fast. Like, for me to DM 100 people, it probably takes around like 25, 30 minutes.
Copy paste, I'm guessing, right? Of course. Da, 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 da,
Yeah,
da,
yeah,
da.
I got the quick reply on Instagram. So when you open up the DM, the little black circle with the white cross in it in the bottom right hand corner, you just tap that, and then it shoot up like a bar of messages, and then you
Mhm.
just click a message and put send. Because I talk to these people so much, and this is what I was doing with training. I talk to these people so much, I already know what they're gonna say. So like sometimes I'll be reading the message, I read like half the message, I'll be like, okay, I get the gist of this. I know which one to send to you.
You were exactly, man. Exactly. I mean, everything has already been said before. Everything has already been taught before. Like, it's all there, right? You already know what kind of answers they're gonna give you. Kind of like a script, like a for sale by owner, like objections. You already know what these people are gonna tell you. Hey, I'm not ready yet, or yes, I'm ready, or whatever. What kind of responses do you usually get when the people do respond?
They'll either like it or say, I got you, or I'll be reaching out to you soon,
Right, right,
or they're like, oh, because you're I'm talking to so many people, you're bound to run into somebody who's thinking about buying within the next
right,
30 days. Like,
right.
oh, I was just thinking about that. How do you know? Or like, it's
It's like,
like,
how'd you know I was gonna buy something?
and you're gonna run into those probably like once or twice a week, and then what I mean, like, so they might not respond to it at all. They might like it, right? Or they might say, "Okay, I got you," and I just send them like a fist bump emoji. I'm like, "Okay, cool." Because I got screenshots of this too. I'll respond to their story, like do the little thing. I'm not even realizing what they're talking about. I might see their dog, or they might post some food, and I'll just
Right, right,
write
right.
a little heart emoji. So I might have hit them up in April or May, and then I might respond to their story in like June or July, and they're like, "Hey, I want to buy a house," or I need, because when they see it, when they go back in their DMs and they open it up, they're like, oh, they replied to my story. They don't know if I'm sending a regular message to read, or if it's like it's just one of those little emoji responses. So when they open it up, they're seeing,
Right. They see the other
yeah,
message. No, I love it, man. It's super creative. I mean, it's staying top of mind. It's branding. It's pretty much being there. It's like it again. You send them a message, even if it's not something that they're gonna see right now. Maybe down the road, you might comment on their picture, or just engage with them again. They might take a
Hmm.
look at it, and then it might be the right time. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
you're doing this, 100 people per day. So one, like I'm sure you get a few, some type of lead, some type of interest per day, right? So
Yeah. Every single day. I send, man, for the past, since August, not August, since June 26th this year, I've sent at least two people to talk to a lender every single day, Monday through Friday. At least two people.
what?
The same lender. And he's taking me out to eat, like, bro, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but please just keep on
That's
it.
insane. So damn, Julian, that's amazing, man. I mean, for those agents that are listening to him, I mean, how easier does it get, right? Like just being there, just being consistent, doing it every day. Let me ask you this, Julian. I know you have a lot of followers. So what if the agent, doesn't have that much followers? Like, what if that was you? What would you do? Would you just again do what your strategy? Search the area, search those type of jobs, those type of people you want to connect with, and just send it to them, even though you
Yeah.
guys have no connection, and
Yeah, I
just
just follow people, and
got you.
most likely they'll follow back. You follow somebody, like two or three of their pictures, send them a DM, like, "Hey, I noticed you
Awesome.
did this. This is pretty cool." Like, just
Cool, man.
some type of acknowledgement, and
Right,
they're like,
right,
"Oh, you complimented me, acknowledged me. Let me go ahead and follow this person back," because they just feel good about themselves.
right, man.
Now,
That's awesome.
yeah, now they're following you, and most likely they're gonna see your story and your posts all the time because they respond to your message, and then they follow you.
Okay, that's awesome. I love it. So let's go to the next step. So once get engagement, you're lead generating, you get some type of interest. What's your next steps? What does your follow up look like? I know you have like a follow up strategy. You said you're gonna follow up from the training. So what does that look like?
So I have a Word document open on my computer at all times in Google Drive, and every time I get a lead, I either put their Instagram name or they give me their number and their name. I put that down in the Word doc just so I can have it, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it in Mojo and take notes. And and that's really it. Like, okay, where are they at in the process right now? Where do they want to be? Did they talk to the lender? Yes or no? What did they talk about? And then on Mojo, because a lot of these people, like nowadays, you don't have to call people, and people don't want to be called. And people my age, around like 25, they don't even want to be texted. So
Just
you can
DM
just,
me, send me
yeah,
an
you can just,
Instagram, and we'll talk.
yeah, they'll
Once
respond
I'm
to that before they respond to a text. They might see a text and forget about it, but you send them a DM, they'll respond to that ASAP. Because if on everybody's Instagram, if you go on there and see how many hours that, like, total that your followers are on there, it's gonna what you're gonna realize and I'm not gonna go into detail about the numbers, but what you're gonna realize is that people are on Instagram 24/7, all day, every day. It comes out to an average of, they're on there 30 minutes out of every hour per day, except the hours between like 1 a.m. and 4 a.m.
right,
Everything
right,
else
right.
they're on there. So if you think about it, like, they're
Of
not on
course,
there from 1 to 1:30. They're not just on there for those 30 minutes, then they take a 30-minute break. They're on and off all the
consistently,
time. Yeah,
all the
because
time.
so they're on the phone every,
No,
all moments of the day.
and,
Everybody.
and it's funny because if you think about it, you're so right, man. Like a regular text message is becoming like even me personally, sometimes I forget. Like in South America, and I think Europe as well, we use WhatsApp, right?
Hmm.
It's kind of like an app, but it's like Instagram as well. So it's like my conscience is more geared like, oh, do I have a message on the WhatsApp or do I have a message on Instagram more than a regular text message, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when you have a notification, a message on Instagram, like, oh shit, who's this? Like, what's going on? So I love it, man. I love it. So how do you then follow up? Let's say the person's like, yeah, cool. I'll let you know, or some type of interest like that. You put it in your Mojo, you put him in the Word document, you take some notes. Hey, he told me he may be interested and not ready yet, whatever. What is the next step of following up? 'Cause the reason I'm asking about following up is like the thing that most agents mess up on, right?
Yeah.
That's why.
Thank God they do. Because if you're good at it, I mean,
Competition for you.
you got zero competition. I just put them so like in Mojo, I either schedule a follow up call or I'll put a task and I schedule like a follow up test. So in the task bar, I'll put like TM for text message, and I would like put it for like August 15th. August 15th comes, I pull up my task for the day. I see TM, I click on it, it opens up that little file. And then I read the notes and see where they last left off. And then at the end of the notes, I always put like the next step is
Love
blank,
it.
blank, blank.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome,
And
man.
then on
That's
the
it.
Word document, I can just go down the Word document, look at each one, because I have who I put in Mojo in there.
Hmm.
So the people who are not in Mojo, I just leave a little note by their name saying this is where they're at, this is their next steps, and then I put the date that I contacted them.
Do
And it's really
you,
just yeah,
Julian,
go ahead.
do you not put them on Mojo, or let's just say CRM for the people that don't know what Mojo is? So do you not put them on your CRM and leave them in the Word if maybe they're not that interested? Is that, when do you decide that? Like, let me put them here or not?
Oh, so if they talk to the lender, they're definitely going in there, in their timeline and how much money they have saved up in their credit score. That determines if they're gonna go into
The
to
CRM or not?
yeah. So I might see somebody they might have $0 saved up and might have an awful credit score, but they just got employed. They got a really good job, and I know because I know everybody's salary because I just ask them that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're gonna be ready in a year. And then a lot of agents make the mistake of see, when I was a wholesaler, you can only do business with like half of 1% of the people you talk to.
Wow, half of 1%.
So when you're a realtor, you can literally do business with any and everybody. A lot of agents make the mistake of, oh, they're not ready or they'll never be ready. Let me throw them away. Their credit
Right.
score is horrible. They're 80. They're like 50 years old. They don't have any money saved up. They're probably never going to do anything. But that's a mistake because they can always give you referrals. And
Love
if
it.
you just keep in touch with them, like my friend
Wow.
Dominique, and then it's another person on IG. Like I keep in touch with them all the time because they send one person they reached out to me about buying a house. They don't have a good credit score and they don't have that much money saved up, and they're currently unemployed because of COVID. But they send me 5 referrals, so I just keep in touch with that person. So I keep in touch with
Amazing,
everybody.
man.
Yeah,
Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, man. So pretty much, follow up, stay in touch with everyone. Like you just said, anyone, any lead is a good lead because they could give you referrals, right? And if they're not
yeah,
ready, they'll be ready someday. Or if not, I love that, man. So you pretty much take every single lead like as a gold mine, right?
yeah,
Everything, like you could use something could come from nothing, right? Which
yeah.
I
Because
love that, man.
this week, well, not this week, last week, I got 10 referrals last week alone. So it's
Amazing.
just like, just keep in touch. Like that's it. And then if they're watching your IG story and they're liking your post, it's really over with. It, you
Game
can you
over.
you
Game
got
over.
yeah. Because the more I might see somebody, they might like a post and they might comment, and I might see them watch my story. I'm like, yeah, I got you. You're in there because you're gonna start looking at it every day from
I
then on.
love it, man. Good strategies, man. So let's get off the social media. You killed it. I really appreciate all those tips. I'm sure a lot of agents are gonna get out of value. And let's go into what your business is looking like today. I know you're also, you also do things outside of traditional real estate. You do a little bit of wholesaling and you kind of think outside the box and you kind of bring all the pieces in together. Give us some tips. Tell us a little bit about that or what agents could also be doing, that you're doing.
Yeah, so I do a lot of I don't do as much as I used to when I was wholesaling, but I do a lot of cold calling. So I might make around like 400 voice to voice contacts every month. That's probably around like 20 a day. And I'll talk to some for sale by owners, or I'll talk to like folks, absentee owners that meet a certain criteria, got a certain amount of equity in the house, owned it for
Right.
a certain amount of time, certain yeah. So I'll talk to them and either like I it just depends on the deal, but either I wholesale the house, I sell it to a hedge fund, and now I have two guys. One is a vice president for Chick-fil-A, so he has a lot of money. So he just buys
Wow.
houses cash. He'll flip them, or he just buy it as a rental.
Like buy
And
and
then
hold.
yep, and then I got another guy who flips between 100 and 150 houses every year. So I just send it to him. I always represent him as the agent on the front end, get the commission, then I'll manage the renovation depending on where it's at. And it's kind of sort of like a partnership, and he'll give me anywhere between 20 and 30% of the profit on the flip.
Wow.
Mhm.
That is awesome. So pretty much you're doing all this cold calling. I mean, of course, I'm sure with the DMs, getting people up there, but also, cold calling, you're talking to sellers that, may want to just get a quick sell, right? So
Mhm.
you'll wholesale that and you'll sell it to these investors, these flippers or the hedge funds. And that's pretty much where it comes from.
Yep. Just calling, cold calling, pick them up. Want to consider? Would you consider an offer on your house? Yes or no? And it really that's really how straightforward it is. They tell me yeah, then I go into like details on their situation, and I do a lot of follow up with them as well. Like I got a deal closing on the 31st. I first talked to him June of last year, and I've been just following up with him, text, call, probably like once or twice a month, every week. Not every week, but every month,
Every month, right. So for a
and then
whole year
yeah, for a whole year.
until he's
Finally
not
put the
ready.
house under contract, and I think the sales price is 103,000. I'm the only agent in all this stuff. Um, so the hedge fund I'm selling it to, they pay referral fees, which is 1% of the purchase price, and then my commission is 7.5% with him. So all in all, it's gonna be 8.5% commission on the thing. The
Love it,
trans-
man. Love it. So you're pretty much, you're thinking outside the box and you're like kind of going that next step. You're like, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I also know how to do this. I have experience in this. These are my skills. You're taking all that, combining it, and you're just like kind of like thinking outside the box, going to the next step. And it's
Yeah,
giving you great results, man. That's amazing. I mean, how let me ask you this. When you're calling, cold calling, are you kind of is your mind kind of like as a traditional real estate agent, both, or more like a wholesaler investor kind of mindset?
it's more so the wholesale investor mindset. But if I see they can turn into a traditional, then I know how to pivot. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I come out to the house. Do you want to I mean, do you just want me to not give you an offer, or do you want me to give you an offer just so you can have all your options available? And they're always gonna say, yeah, I want my options available. Well, yeah, because it doesn't hurt. I mean, if you don't like it, you just say no. So then I go out to the house. I get their price first. So their price is going to determine if I go out to. It's a lot of
Right.
things. So
Yeah,
their
yeah, yeah.
timeline, their
Yeah.
motivation, the price they want, how much equity they have in the house,
Right, right,
and
right.
yeah, those are basically the four things. So then once I go out to the house, give them an offer, and I let them know like, hey, if this doesn't work out, then we can talk about if you really,
Traditional.
yeah, if you really want to sell the house, you want to net the most money, then we could talk about how that would look. They're like, okay, so I submit them off. They don't like it. I'm like, well, I mean, we can get you the price that you. This comes from John Martinez too. If people don't know who John Martinez is, go look him up on YouTube.
John
He's the only
Martinez. All right, I'll check him out. Haven't heard of him.
Midwest Revenue Group, the most legitimate sales trainer I ever heard in my freaking life. He's the best. He's 11 out of 10. I don't listen to Grant. I don't listen to nobody besides him. So then I hit him with
Wow, I
the
appreciate that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. So do you learn all these skills from him? He's doing
a
this
lot.
style.
Yeah, yeah. Because he'll put out a video. It'll be like 2 minutes. So it'll be straight to the point. I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. So I hit the sales like, yeah, I don't like that offer. I'm like, yeah, I can get you the price you're asking. I just need you to do a little bit of legwork for me. And they're like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, do make this repair, this repair, this repair.
Right.
And I get this from him. And they'll sometimes if they say yeah, then cool. We'll go ahead and move forward with that.
Right.
If they say no, I'm like, okay, well, is it the money it takes to repair the house, or
Or what is
or
it?
the price, or the timeline? And then they'll go into it, and then that opens the window back up, and we'll go back into the situation. We'll focus on the motivation. Then after we get through that, well, I just ask them at the end. This is John Martinez' favorite closing line. What would you like to do next?
What?
Hey,
Love it. Damn, man, that is amazing, Julian. Yeah. So you're pretty much, cold calling, trying to get people on the phone, kind of with that investor wholesaler mindset, because behind you have investors that are ready, hedge funds that are ready to buy. You can make even more commission, right? From
yep.
helping, and you're helping these people because some of them, honestly, they need to sell quick or they're in some type of distress or some type of situation.
And the transaction is a lot smoother. You
Right.
don't deal with a whole bunch of repair, because the people buying the house as is. The hedge funds buying the house as is. They're paying all closing costs. So it's like we might close in a week, might close in 2 weeks. It just depends on when you can get the tenant out of the house or when you
Right.
can empty all the stuff out of the house. If the house is already empty, the fastest close I ever had was in the same day.
No way. Tell me about that. That's insane. How's that even possible?
So we had it was me and my girlfriend, this back when we were just wholesaling, and she found this house, and the owner's like, yeah, we just want to sell it, whatever. Okay, cool. So the house was empty, didn't really have too much of anything in it. The sellers, we had already did a deal with them, and they had went with somebody else to sell the other house, but it kind of fell through. So we got it. We sent it to the hedge fund who bought their first house, and we were saying like, hey, here are the pictures and everything. It was like, oh, I think we've seen this house already. We can close today. Oh, great. So they sent us a contract with 0 days due diligence. I think it was $1,000 earnest money, and I had to call the sellers like, yeah, like the funds are already at the
Like,
office.
hey, give me the keys. It's done deal.
And it's like, what? And they were like scatterbrained. They're like, oh, I can't believe it. I'm like, yeah, you can just go tomorrow and sign everything. And then they just showed up the next day, signed everything. The second fastest closing we had was in 3 days. It was with Cyprus. They saw this house, and the house was like, we sold it. So retail, you could probably get 210 for it. They bought it for like 195. At first, they put a contract on it for 200, but then they had dropped price because of some little miscellaneous stuff like painting.
Okay.
So they were saying like the seller, his situation was like he lived in Vegas, got a house in Georgia. I don't live there, tired of making mortgage payments. I said, okay, this could be the offer. I think I initially offered him like 190. That was in probably like 2 months prior. He put it on the market with an agent. He's like, man, this is taking too long. I don't want to make repairs. I don't want to have to pay closing costs and 2 agents. He's like, yo, does the offer still stand? I was like, yeah, you're going to take the house down, though. He called the agent. He took the house down off the market. He said, okay, the house is down. I said, cool. I let my broker know. He went and got an offer from the hedge fund. Sent it to him. He signed it, had an inspection the same day. They said, oh, everything's good. The house is in great condition. They're like, we can close on this on Friday. That was on Tuesday when we sent him the offer. On Friday, we went to close. Title was already pulled. We did a rush on title. I paid for that. I paid for the rush on title.
Rush feed title search. Love it. All right, man. So I like that. I mean, that's kind of, again, like, having your real estate license, having the skills and experience and so much free education out there. Like, you don't really, as a real estate agent, have to focus on traditional real estate, right? There's so much different doors and so much different, roads and different things that you can do, like kind of like what you're doing, right? You're doing traditional. You're also, wholesaling, getting properties, connecting buyers with sellers, investors, hedge funds with, distressed sellers or whatever. So, I mean, look at that. I mean, you're killing it. You haven't even been in the real estate too long, and you're all over the place, man.
Then just reading books, and I mean, like I don't have no kids. I got a dog, and I'm not like married, and I don't really have too much of anything. Like
just work and helping people, man. That's what you got going on.
That's it. So I got a lot of time to. When I'm in the car, I'm always listening to YouTube videos, listen to the podcast. When I'm at the house, trying to cook or trying to clean up, listen to a podcast.
At all times. So education at all times.
Yeah, and just read articles during the day, Kindle, listen to Audible. It's just like nonstop information consumption. And after you hear it so much, it's like you start to just put pieces together. Because I don't take notes. Like I don't have any notes of all this stuff. It's just like after you read so much and hear so much, you can start teaching it to other people. Then that helps you understand it more, and then you just keep repeating that cycle. It's just like you learn one new thing every day. There's 365 new things in a year, 730 new things in 2 years. So it's like you're gonna be pretty savvy when it comes to.
My man, love it, man.
Doing anything.
Love it. I'm the same way, man. I'm a consistent learning. I'm, always trying to grow and always listen to podcasts. Like I'm in education at all times. I'll switch a little bit to music, get some music, and then go back to listening to something. But let me ask you something about you, Julian. Like, it's very interesting. Like, where did you get all this, kind of like motivation, ambition, this wanting to, I know you grew up in Atlanta. I've heard you grew up in, some pretty rough neighborhoods, so like, how was your growing up? Like, where did you get all this, this motivation, all this from?
Growing up, it was uh, like at the beginning, it was, guess you can call it tough. I mean, I was born in that, so that's all I knew. So it really wasn't tough. Lived with my mom, stayed at my grandma's house because mom had her house foreclosed on. Stayed in the quote unquote hood. My parents never let me play with any of the kids over there because they know if I like you become who you hang around. So
You're not gonna go.
yeah, if I hang around with them. I mean, just to sum it up.
Just one or two of them.
Get shot or you go to jail. Just to sum it up, that is really that straightforward. And it was like, nah, don't do that. So they put me in a school in another school system. Went over there. It was like, to give you an idea, we had 2 fights in 3 years when I was in middle school. Then I came back to Atlanta for high school. We had 3 fights within the first like 5 or 6 hours of the school day.
every day, horrible fighting.
It was horrible. So then I guess I get the motivation from just not ever wanting to or having to like live in those conditions ever again. And I'm just thankful for like every little thing. Like I'm thankful for and just like have my own bathroom.
Right.
Yeah, have my own car, and I had because one time I was working out my workout partner, and I didn't have a car, so I was meeting him at LA Fitness that was 4 miles away. So I'm running the first 2.5 miles, and then I'll walk the rest, and that's every day to meet him. So just like even having a car, I'm just extremely thankful, and I go over this every single day.
That is awesome, man.
Ever want to go back to that? So that's one of the things that drives me. Another thing that drives me is that I see my folks like some kids that go to my high school. Those are like my little brothers to me, and they mean a lot to me. So I was like, I want to be in a position to be able to say, oh, you want to make 150,000, you want to make 200,000, you tired of sleeping on the floor. I know you live in your car. You want to make $200,000 this year. Like I want to be able to do that. Like immediately.
Be able to help these people, and kind of teach them everything that kind of be like a big brother kind of thing. Hey, let me show you what
Because I hang around some guys that can put you in a position. I got one guy. His name is David Osborne. I think he's like the largest KW market center owner. Like he has the most market centers, and he can put you in a position making $1 million in 1 year right now at this very moment. If he likes you, he's like, yeah, you help yourself, you bust your butt. I think you would be an asset to what I have going on. Come work for me. You'll make $1 million this year. Like I really want to be able to do that.
That's awesome.
Change people's lives. Yeah.
That's
Because
awesome,
they changed
Julian.
my life. That Aaron and Muchastegui for Real Estate Rockstars, like he's in a group called Go Abundance. Those guys changed my life. The Bigger Pockets.
Right, of course.
So all the Joshua Dorkin, Brandon Turner, and David Green, all those guys in the same group, they're listening to the podcast like, yo, like David Green texts me like, yo, I just heard your podcast. A year before that, David Green asked me like, yo, you want to come out to California and possibly be on my team as a buyer's agent? And he's like, you'll probably be making around 150, 175 on the first year. And it's like those people change your life. Like
that's amazing.
It's serious. Not only will they be a supporter and encourage you and help you learn, they can change your bank account. Like so you don't have to be broke anymore. And I just want to be able to do that for somebody else.
That is amazing. I love that. There you go, man. See, I know there was a deeper meaning behind that, Julian Colvard. Awesome, man. Love it. Julian, man, I really appreciate it. We're going to go into a few fun questions before we end the show. I really appreciate all those really valuable tips. Tell us, Julian, I know you're wholesaling, you've done a lot of deals. I mean, you've been probably some bad areas in Atlanta. What is the worst thing you've seen in a showing? Do you have any crazy experiences or not?
Oh my God. Me and my friend Christian went inside a house. It's in a gentrifying area. It's like slowly changing from lower income to high income. We went inside this house and like this dude, I don't know. I don't like know what meth smells like, but I think I inhaled meth in that house because when I was walking around in the house, I was walking up the stairs and I think I took a breath that was too deep and I just got like extremely like woozy and I was like on the steps like I was falling. I was like, oh snap. like I had to hang on to the side of the wall, like falling down the stairs. And the dude's just like, "Yep, it does that to you." I'm like, "What the hell?" So,
Oh my god, you just like you just
but I think he was cooking. That dude was crazy. He came out with his pants unzipped, belt unzipped, shirt halfway buttoned up.
and he
Had
was cooking. It was like he's probably cooking meth while you're walking around the house. Oh my god.
most likely. And then on top of that, the how you know the old phones from like the early 1900s where you had to like ring it up with
I
your
lo-
finger. Man, I kid you not. He probably had about 4,000 of those phones in his house. That's not an exaggeration. That's a realistic number. And they're just everywhere. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing with? I didn't want to ask him.
That's scary.
'Cause- yeah,
That's scary.
and then he had like this little other dude that was just following him around, like yeah, 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 yeah. He just like
Sorry.
he just be like
Oh my
mumbling and
god.
stuff like yeah, yeah, yeah. He just following us around. Like, what in
Sounds
the
like a
world?
movie, man. That sounds like a movie, like some weird ass movie.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was
Crazy,
pretty crazy.
man.
I was glad. I was like, he had a gun on him. I was like, bro, you might have to use this. But I was like, Christian, do you think it's meth in his house? He's like, dude, I'm smelling something. I mean, he was like, are you like nauseous? Like I'm losing my balance. I'm like, yes.
Let's
We
get
had to
out of
do.
there, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to negotiate with him in the front yard. We couldn't stay in there.
Julian, if you can compare yourself with any animal, what animal would that be?
Probably a dog.
Why?
Just
Tell me.
happy. Wake up. Every day is the best day ever for no reason.
Love it.
Every day is the best day ever for no reason, and just like happy go lucky all the time, no matter what's happening.
Amazing, man. Yeah, I have a American Bulldog myself, a big dog, and definitely, man, happy every day. Just nothing is love, right? Nothing but love. Everything that surrounds their life is just it's all love, and it's beautiful, man. Love it, man. Julian, again, thank you so much for joining us today, taking your time. You've gave a lot of valuable tips, a lot of bombs you dropped. You made us think outside the box. That's for regular traditional real estate agents. And again, I want to really thank you for your time. Thank you so much for being here with us.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you reaching out to me, thinking I'm good enough to come on the show.
Absolutely, man. Always value, man. So again, thank you so much, Julian. And we'll definitely stay in touch and have a good rest of your evening.
All right, you too, man. I see ya.
All right.